Hey, everybody. Welcome to Cornbread Hustle Live. This is show number 5. Can you believe we've already been doing this for a month? I'm Susie Solis. This is Sherry Garcia. And of course, we've got our producer and wizard of useless information, Ziggy.
That I am.
I love it. So, how's it going? How's your week going?
Good, good. I got to see my brother's little baby.
Your niece?
Yes. Wow, having a baby is a tough job. That's what I noticed. I fell asleep for like 5 seconds, and this baby's finger went all the way up my nose to my brain. I woke up startled, and my brother was like, "No naps when you have a baby."
Nope.
Wow, birth control.
Exactly. Yeah. No, it was funny because Sherry was like, "Yeah, you can't even set it down." I'm like, "Set the baby down?" Like, who says it? It's a human.
What is it, a cousin?
Like, oh my God, that's hilarious. And so your brother's been Mr. Mom this week?
Yep. His girlfriend is out of town, so he does it well.
He does?
Oh my God, your brother's Michael Keaton?
Look at him with the dad jokes over here. Yeah, he does a good job. He has a lot of patience, and I would have never expected my brother to ever have patience in his whole entire life. I guess kids will do that.
That's what kids do to you. Uh-huh.
Wow.
Poopy diapers.
Yeah. Now I know why the other day you thought when I told you I had a blowout that I needed new clothes. Because my brother came running into the living room. He goes, "Blowout." I was like, "What?" He was like, "Gotta put her in the bath."
Yeah. So Sherry sent me a text and said, like, I had a blowout. And I was like, do you want me to give you some undies or something?
I was like, "Why are you asking me if I need clothes? My tire blew out."
I have too many nieces and nephews. That's exactly what happens when you think of that. And then we had Easter this week. Did you do anything fun?
You know,
like praise Jesus?
No, you know I didn't do any of that.
You're such a heathen. What about you, Ziggy? Crickets?
Yeah, nothing really. Oh, we got hammered after the show on Saturday, so I guess that's how I started my Easter Sunday.
Good for you. Did you drink wine like Jesus?
No, a lot of bourbon and tequila.
Oh.
Yes. We almost got into a fight, actually.
What? Ziggy, I can't imagine you getting into a fight.
Well, so I've been rewatching the Phantasm movies. I'm a big fan of those. And
what is that?
It's like it's these horror movies where this Angus Scrimm plays this like old, tall funeral director who's like stealing bodies and repurposing them for like his private army or whatever. It's really weird and hard to explain. But his quote from the movies is, "You play a good game, boy." And my friend Reggie had never seen the movie, and my other friends had, and so I was a little tequila drunk, and so I got up on this bar patio and pointed at him and said that line. But the thing is,
oh yeah, you can't do that. You
Reggie
can't say that.
Is a 6'5" black man. And he knows me. We're good friends, so he was not offended. But the table of black people that was right next to us was, and just immediately went, "What did you say?" And then he had to like get up and calm them down and be like, "No, it's okay. He's one of the good ones." Yeah. So that was my Easter Sunday. How that started, I guess.
What did you do, Susie? Go to church for like 5 hours?
Actually, no. I went to church on Saturday. Just kidding. I didn't go because normally, we always do church on Sundays, and my family all went on Saturday, but I showed up. So church was supposed to be at 6, and I showed up at 5, and I saw this huge crowd of all these foreign, kids. And by foreign, I mean not my nieces. And I was like, I am not going through all of these people to get to my people to wait around. So I gotta go. And so they're texting me at 6. I went to Target and I bought stuff for Easter and whatever. And so then I get a group text and they're like, "Hey, where is everybody? Like, we're saving you seats." I'm like, you know what? I showed up at 5 and now I'm at Target. So just not gonna make it. Sorry. Thank you, Jesus. I praise you. And moving on.
Perfect.
And so then Sunday we just had a little Easter egg hunt and it was fun.
Awesome.
Pigged out.
Awesome. I ate brisket.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
Who made it?
My aunt. Well, her husband.
Okay, got it. Got it. And then we got to see our Cornbread Hustle app this week.
That's really cool. I'm so it should be live at any moment now.
So excited. So we'll be doing our show from Detroit in like a couple of weeks. What else have you been doing this week, Ziggy?
I finally got my close friend Pete into horror movies. He's not a big fan.
Oh man,
but,
me either.
I got him to start watching the TV series Ash vs. Evil Dead, and he's really enjoying it. So I'm really excited about that. Like we finally get to share something that I like.
You're such a nerd, Ziggy.
You know what I started watching this week?
I am one of the drunkest nerds you know. That's for sure.
But I love you. I started watching Queer Eye for the Straight Guy.
What's it about?
Seriously, you've never heard of it?
I mean, I've heard of it. You know, I never watch TV.
Ziggy, have you?
I'm familiar, yes.
Okay. So it's basically 5 gay guys, and they're all, you know, good at different things. One of them is like about food and wine. The other one's about culture. The other one's about, you know, design and whatever, and clothes. And then I forgot what the other one is. Anyway, so they go and they help straight guys who are like, you know, dressing like crap and have an ugly apartment or whatever and need help. We'll nominate you, Ziggy, if you want.
No, it's fine. I'm good.
I think that's a brilliant idea, actually, Ziggy. Let's do it.
That'll be fun.
So it's actually, I was like, oh, I don't know if I like these, because this is the second rendition of it. The original started like, I don't know, 10 years ago. And so I was like, I don't know if I'm going to like these guys. And dude, I was like crying through 2 of the shows. I don't know why.
Laughing? Sad?
No, like, because it was so nice, like an emotional, you know?
Okay, that's sweet. You have a soul.
I have a soul. It's weird.
Crazy.
I've been making people cry left and right. I mean, I met with another client, and I was helping him on this speech that he's supposed to give at this event next Friday. And I was asking him about, you know, one of his mentees or whatever, and he started crying.
Aww.
I'm like, what is the deal? I keep making people cry. Shut up. Anyway, let's move on to FYI on the fly.
Today's FYI on the Fly is brought to you by Geolat. Gently used high-end jewelry and gems at great prices. Call for an appointment today at 972-239-9314. That's Geolat.
The affluenza teen, 20-year-old Ethan Couch, who killed 4 people in a drunken wreck, was released from jail this week. Couch was 16 when he struck and killed 4 pedestrians. A psychologist at his manslaughter trial blamed his irresponsibility on family wealth, dubbing it affluenza. His mother, Tanya Couch, is awaiting trial on charges of hindering apprehension of a felon and money laundering after she fled to Mexico with her son in 2015. And so horrible. I actually covered this years ago when this happened, and it was just a nasty, nasty wreck.
I know. He looks like he's been through a lot. He doesn't look
But he just went to the county jail. He didn't even go to prison.
But you know, for him.
I know. But still, I mean, he killed 4 people. And he's on probation right now. I mean, or
That's
parole.
Insane.
Isn't that ridiculous?
That's insane.
Probation. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway. Facebook revealed today that as many as 87 million users could have had their Facebook data improperly shared with the British political data firm Cambridge Analytica. CEO Mark Zuckerberg said on Wednesday, even if you're not one of the people who does those online quizzes which steal information, there's probably someone out there who has scraped data from your Facebook profile. And guess what? There's no way to protect yourself from this kind of data scraping besides locking down your profile or deleting it.
I don't know. Everyone's acting so crazy. Like, oh my gosh, my data. Your data has been out there for, I mean, come on. I don't know why everyone's freaking out now. And what are you going to do? Delete your Facebook? Okay, we'll see you in a week.
God. I mean, if I didn't have to use it for business and everything else that I do, I wouldn't be on Facebook.
We're on Facebook Live now.
I know. That's what I'm saying. If I didn't have to, trust me, I know the hand that feeds me. Is that what the saying is?
Mm-hmm. Facebook feeds us.
Yeah, exactly. And it was the 50th anniversary of MLK's assassination this week on April 4th, 1968. James Earl Ray shot and killed King on the balcony of the Lorraine Motel in Memphis, Tennessee. 50 years. Have we really come that far? I think the question most people are asking are, what would MLK think now of what's going on?
I don't think he'd be too happy.
I mean, I think we're
starting to go backwards, in my opinion.
I think so, too.
I think we've made progress, but now we're starting to go backwards because of social media and political debates and everybody getting butthurt about every little tiny thing. Why can't we all just get along?
I know. What are your thoughts, Ziggy?
Well, I mean, if you look at how old he was when he died and like the population dynamics, I think it's unrealistic to think that he still would be alive today. But I think that if he
was what, 39?
Yeah, he was almost 40. And so I think if you look at, you know, how long people tend to live, especially like people in the black community, because they tend to have greater health problems and tend to die earlier, I think that he probably wouldn't be alive today. But I think if he would be disappointed is a politically correct word. I think he would be very angry. I think it would be very, very displeased.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I agree. I mean, I think we've made some headway, like you said, but I think these days we're slowly stepping back, and it's just sad, you know. Can we all just hug it out? Okay, so moving on. The woman who opened fire at YouTube headquarters Tuesday practiced shooting at a gun range hours before the attack, according to police. She then took her 9mm Smith & Wesson handgun to the Silicon Valley campus and shot 3 people she apparently didn't know, according to San Bruno Police Chief Ed Barberini. All this because Nasim Agdam was upset with YouTube's practices and policies. She shot and wounded 3 people before she killed herself. 2 of the victims have been released from the hospital, and 1 remains in serious condition.
Wow.
People. I mean, violence is not the answer. I mean, what's the deal?
I mean, what did she think this was going to solve?
And then now it's a girl trying to shoot people up.
Gosh.
What? Giving us a bad name. You know, we were trying to say, hey, you know what? Girls don't do that. But now we can't say it anymore.
Can't say it
Thank
anymore.
you. You ruined it.
I believe that she is the first female solo spree killer ever, at least in America.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so, because the San Bernardino attacks, that was a couple.
Right.
But I think that this is a first.
That's what I'm saying. She ruined it for us. Like, thanks a lot. And she's not even a good shot.
Yeah. She just ended up getting killed, and this was over the censorship.
Yeah,
stuff.
so she said that she was upset over YouTube's censorship policies, and
which is interesting because the guy we're going to talk to later today had that same problem where he was getting censored and almost lost his whole channel.
Yeah, he has 40,000 subscribers on his channel, on his YouTube channel.
Just keeps growing. Mm-hmm.
So anyway, not a good situation. Violence is not the answer, people. Can we, like I said, can we just hug it out? Can you just hug somebody today? Do us a favor, hug somebody today.
Not me though. I'm good.
What? I'm gonna hug you, Ziggy.
We're good.
Okay, let's talk about our most embarrassing moments.
Today's FYI on the Fly was brought to you by Geolat. Geolat, gently used high-end jewelry and gems at great prices. Call for an appointment today at 972-239-9314.
So, somebody, people kind of email us sometimes now that they know that we're doing this podcast, and they'll give us a few ideas of segments we should do. And one of them was, what are our most embarrassing moments? And, that's always a good topic to talk about.
And yours are just, to me, I'm like, that's not even embarrassing. Mine are horrifying.
Well, okay, so I have 2. One of them, I fell down the stairs.
I wish I could have seen that.
I used to be in radio back in the day in El Paso, and I went to the El Paso Times, and I was thinking I was all cool, walking down the stairs. And It was so loud. Like I slipped, my foot slipped out from under me and I fell down like 5 stairs, dude. And it was so loud. And somebody came running over and like looked over and was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like trying to get up, so jacked up. I mean, I had a bruise on my butt for like the longest time. It was so embarrassing. I mean, it was really just a bruise to my ego. And then another time, this was when I was a reporter at NBC and we had just started our 4 o'clock show. And I was outside. I don't even remember what the story was, but like some little gnat like got stuck in my throat. Like I inhaled it, you know, and I was like choking on air, you know. Thank God this didn't make it to YouTube. But I remember because I kept, and of course they don't take the camera off you know. So I'm sitting here choking, like almost dying, like looking so awkward. And I remember Jane McGarry was actually the anchor that day, and she was like, "Is everything okay?" And I'm like, "I can't answer. I'm choking right now," you know. And I think I just like stepped off camera, and I'm like, "I can't do this, people. I'm about to die." And so yeah, another bruise to the ego. And luckily, the 4 o'clock show had just started, so we didn't have that many viewers. So
yeah, nobody's watching at 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
Well, I guess, do you want to know mine?
I love this story, and in fact, I make Sherry tell it like anywhere we go.
Yeah, I'm like free entertainment for everyone who's drinking. They're like, tell the story, tell the story. Okay, so I do a lot of speaking. In fact, I spoke Tuesday morning at a group, and I'm always, for whatever reason, speaking in front of like really polished professional people. I think it's a horrible idea, but I say yes, and I do it anyway. So I was at this, it was like a Lions Club, like Rotary group. And
so the people were like 80 plus.
the average age in this room was dead, okay? So I'm standing up there, and the topic was I was teaching them how to use Twitter for marketing. And so I'm teaching them how to use hashtags, and I type in, I'm just talking to them, I type in hashtag tanning, and I hit enter, and it's like going a little slow, and I was like, okay, so anyway, let me just tell you more about hashtags. And then all of a sudden, everyone's face looked like somebody just died. And I was like, do I need to go over hashtags again? And some lady goes, just take it down already. And I was like, what? I turn around, and I kid you not, on the big screen behind me, I guess some girl who was naked in a tanning bed decided to do hashtag tanning. And all it is from like the waist down, vagina huge behind me. And I was like, and the girl that was there with me standing in the front, or sitting in the front, she was just frozen. I'm like, do something, pepper spray everyone. I don't care. Like, what do I do?
Take it off the screen.
I couldn't even, my computer was running slow. I couldn't even get it off. And then I was like, that's not me. That's just, that's like a regular image on Twitter. There's nothing I can do.
We have
that.
the picture.
Yes, we do.
It's horrifying. And then it even said Super Soaker 69. Are you kidding me? And so I didn't know what to do, and I kept trying to finish my speech, and everyone was just so horrified. People were getting up and walking out.
Who would let you finish?
Well, I said, should I just not finish? And they were like, yeah, it's time to leave. And so I went to my car, and I sat in my car, and I just was like, who does this happen to? Did this really happen to me? And then that was the ultimate most embarrassing. I think my face turned so red, and I was so hot, and I didn't even know what do you say? Besides, that's not me. I promise.
And you scared all of these people from ever using hashtags ever again.
Yeah. They're
so
like,
you did the
what's
opposite.
Twitter is twatter. I mean, what the hell? So that's one embarrassing moment. And then the other one is I was in a really professional boardroom meeting setting. I was doing their PR, and they were asking me like how this event went that I went to the night before. And I was like, it was great. We had really great bondage. And they were like, and I was like, what? We bonded. And they're like, Sherry, bondage is like when you get tied up and like freaky style. I was like, okay, I'm sorry.
See why vocabulary is so important, people? See?
Yep. Should have went to college. Oops.
Should have paid attention in school, because otherwise you're saying you like bondage.
So
or
now,
online.
I will say that my embarrassing moments are so outrageous and so horrifying that it's really hard to embarrass me.
And you have a lot of embarrassing moments.
I have so many.
Yeah.
So many.
What about you, Ziggy?
When we were talking about this before the show, the only thing that really came to mind is one of the very first shows that I ever ran. The host of the show confused the term sucker punch with donkey punch.
Can you explain to people what a donkey punch is?
Yeah,
It is
I don't know. I didn't know what bondage was.
When you are having relations with someone and then punch them, normally in the back of the head, and like that's what that is, and that's
Wow.
it's like a sexy sucker punch.
Good to know.
And we kept, not just myself, but the other people that were guesting on the show were like trying to explain to him on air in like very mild terms, because it was a clean show, that like what you were saying is not what you were thinking, and he just like was not. You didn't get it for like an hour and a half. And so finally, after the show was over, I like got my phone and showed him, and then he like immediately like issued an apology on his social media. He was like, "I didn't know." I was like, "Well, we tried to tell you a lot."
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That's rough. I mean, when something embarrassing is happening to someone, you got to tell them. Like, remember I told you about that guy? Okay, so this guy, this was a man that I knew since I was like in high school. And he came to me and we were having kind of a business meeting. He has a mustache. This dude had the biggest booger
But you didn't tell him.
coming out of his nose. Well, he wouldn't be quiet, like for 1 second, you know? And he had the biggest booger coming out of his nose, and I was just like, and another friend of mine was sitting right next to him, and I'm like, "Are you seeing this? Like, can you tell him? Like, can you do something?" And nobody was even like paying attention, like not even noticing. It was like the booger was just like waving at me, like nanny nanny poo poo, and I'm like, seriously? Until finally, and it wasn't like a little, oh, you have a little bat in your cave. No, this was like a massive booger. You know, and I was like, oh my God. And he sat there and talked for like 5 minutes, literally. Just, you know, straight as an arrow with a giant booger right here. I'm like, oh my God. Finally, he like wiped his nose or something and it was gone. And I think he probably like had it on his hand, like a big, huge booger on his hand. But what do you do? Am I supposed to like interrupt?
I guess not. I don't know. You just, and it's almost more embarrassing for you because
Right.
you know it's there. One time, I have another embarrassing moment. It didn't embarrass me that bad. I just laughed about it. But I had a white strip in my mouth, and I was in a hurry, and I was trying to whiten my teeth before an event. And I went to Kohl's, and I was shopping, trying to get a dress last minute. And what do? I freaking sneeze. And that white strip went flying right in front of a lady's face onto the rats. And I was like...
First of all, that sounds like you.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, those are our embarrassing moments, people. Good stuff. That story will never get old, Sherry. Ever, ever, ever.
I know. I'll keep that picture forever.
Oh my God.
At least you know what? At least it takes a lot for me to get embarrassed. It really does.
That's true.
It does.
You really can't do
But
anything.
that one, who wouldn't be embarrassed? I mean, I wish it was actually, like, I wish the lady showed her face.
And this was like, what, 4 years ago or something?
Yes. It still
So-
feels like yesterday. I've never sat so frozen. I was like in my car, just couldn't even move. And I was like, how does this happen
I
to
mean,
anybody?
there's nothing that you can do. You just like walk away in shame.
You're trying to convince these old people how to use Twitter and that it's great for business. And then that picture shows up behind you. And you're trying to say, like, it's not me, I swear. That's somebody else on the internet.
That is not mine.
That's not mine.
All right. How about dating disasters? Great story. Women across the country are so excited about this.
Dating disasters brought to you by Love for Sports. Love for Sports makes online dating less intimidating by bringing and connecting sports fans together to either watch their favorite teams, date, and compete with sports trivia. Download today.
All right. So the news of the week this week Channing Tatum and Jenna Dewan Tatum announced Monday that they are separating after nearly 9 years of marriage, which by Hollywood standards is a lifetime. And most people say they didn't see it coming. They have a kid. But every woman in America is like, yes, there's a chance.
He already texted me.
Thank you. And we'll show you why. Why are women across the country so excited about this news? You see?
Oh, yeah, man.
I mean, what? Yeah, he's hot. But you were saying that you don't want to date, that you could never date a guy that's that hot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't want a guy that's like super hot and all the girls want him all the time. I'm too jealous for that.
I mean, somebody else was telling me about this too. They were saying like, girl, I just want to date 6s and 7s. And I'm like, wait, what? And she's like, they treat you better. They treat you like, you know, you're the queen because they're a 6 or a 7.
I mean, I'm not going to go out of my way and be like, well, I want a 6 or a 7. I just want to be hotter than the guy. That's all. That's it. I don't want a guy that's hotter than me. Hell no.
I mean, why? I just don't understand. I just don't understand.
I don't know. I guess it didn't work out for me before. So, I don't know. If a guy's going to treat me good, but he can't have too many hair products or be looking in the mirror all the time. I don't want a metrosexual guy.
That's my thing.
Like that.
If he's really hot, and I've dated a guy who was gorgeous, but he had more hair products than me, and I was like, dude, come on. If you think of yourself and do more selfies than me, we've got major problems, you know?
Oh my God, and you're vain as hell, so there's no way.
Well, exactly.
You guys would be fighting over the mirror.
Exactly.
Yeah, that wouldn't work.
You can't fight.
I just feel like that point undercuts your endorsement of Queer Eye earlier.
Why?
Because I feel like that is part of what they do, is they kind of get men into the like metrosexual.
Well, no,
sort of.
I mean, because Queer Eye, really, they focus on dudes who like really aren't doing anything. Like one guy that they showed, he had not put lotion on his face like his entire life, and it was rough. It was rough. And you know, I mean, you can take care of yourself a little bit, like put on some cologne, cut your hair. You know, this guy had a beard like down to here, and it was pretty nasty.
Phil Robertson was on Queer Eye.
So, I don't know. And then speaking of this whole Channing thing, you know, is there a statute of limitations? Like, what if like Jenna Dewan was like a third friend, you know, like somebody who is kind of an acquaintance? Could you date Channing Tatum?
No.
Because you guys are friends. So it's like that guy's off limits no matter what.
How would you feel if I dated one of your exes?
Well, I would be like, girl, do you really want to go there?
Well, no, I don't want to fill your shoes. I know how Scorpios are in the bed.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, yeah, you can't date that person. I would be like, really? First of all, you don't want to date the guy because why did I break up with him? You know? But if you want to go there, I mean, whatever. But no, yeah, you can't.
And we don't even have the same type, which is great.
Not even close.
Yeah, so we're good.
Not
there.
even close.
We're real good there. And then the guys that like me typically don't like you because we look so opposite.
Yeah.
So it's awesome. If a guy loves blonde girls with big butts, hey, right here.
Yeah.
Exotic looking, sexy, black haired girls, there you go.
Thank you. Oh, you're so sweet.
I know.
You're so sweet.
Wifey for lifey.
But anyway, so yeah, we are all excited that Channing Tatum is single once again. And if you're super hot, don't try and date Sherry because she won't try and date you.
Yeah, too hot for Sherry.
I don't know about that, but whatever. All right, let's talk to our hangry hustler. Okay, so our Hangry Hustler segment every week. Actually, let me just do this real quick. Dating Disasters brought to you by Love for Sports. Love for Sports makes online dating less intimidating by bringing and connecting sports fans together to either watch their favorite teams, date, and compete with sports trivia. Download today.
Speaking of, we are actually going to have a huge event next Thursday that Love for Sports is sponsoring. It's our networking events we always have, but this one's different. Everybody gets a name tag that says if they're single or not. And we're going to have fun little games that get everybody talking, and it's going to be really interesting to combine networking and dating. I think it's going to be really fun. So that's next Thursday, right in the Cowboy Star at Sushi Marquee. We're meeting at 6:30 p.m., so hope you guys can make it.
Thursday, April 12th. So anyway, our Hangry Hustler segment we do every week. And what we do is we try and talk to people who have an inspirational story. They've made some sort of positive transformation or doing positive things in this world. And today we're going to talk to a guy named CG. Tell us a little bit about him.
So I love CG Kid. How did I meet him? He actually, funny enough, he has a YouTube video that went viral. It got over 1 million hits. And it was talking about what methamphetamines is like. And you know that I have a past of having an addiction and conquered that demon. But he's been clean for 5 years and started his YouTube channel, and now he helps addicts all over the world. And I think he has like 40,000 subscribers on YouTube. In fact, he gave us the 300 subscribers that we have, which was very nice of him. CG, are you on the air?
Yep.
Hey, what's up?
Great.
You and your squealing.
Hey.
What's going on, CG? How are you?
I love you, Susie.
I love you.
You're very attractive.
Oh, thank you.
You're like, that's all. Like, it's like my passion and calling was to tell you that in life.
Oh, it looks like you have 48,000 subscribers now. You're jumping up quick, dude.
Yeah. Oh.
So tell us about your channel and why you started it.
My channel was started because in the world of recovery advocacy, there's no such thing as a famous recovery advocate. And the reason why that is they're all so boring.
That's true.
They're all like, therapists who, they lack transparency. You could tell they succumb to the negative stigma around addiction and are never fully transparent about their substance abuse. They don't talk about the problem, they only talk about the solution. And if you don't talk about the problem, you can't relate to somebody who's suffering. And that's why there's no such thing as a real famous recovery advocate. And they also don't use music to the brand or that forms of content and humor. So, I just saw a gap missing. So I came out on YouTube saying, I'm going to be fully transparent. So the reason the meth video and my videos have been so popular is because of that transparency and realness with my audience. And I also put my phone number and contact information in every video, and I refuse to monetize. People ask why. Well, I'm in the business of saving lives, and I don't want them to think I'm in the business of making money. I don't want that to corrupt my message. So I basically get about 100 texts a day, and I respond to them, and it's a little overwhelming, so I created an app at shamelessprotocol.com, which is essentially a anonymous social media networking platform for people that suffer with anything that carries a negative stigma. So it can be drug addiction, gambling, eating disorders. And you go in there with an alias. We don't know anything about you. And you can connect to recovery advocates online. So it's a way for people to have someone to talk to, because since I've been texting people, I've seen that just having somebody to talk to helps so much. And right now there's so many people that want to help and so many people that need help. And there's not a platform for either of those to go to. So when I was getting 100 texts, I was like, this is a community effort. This can't just be me anymore. So that's why I built the app.
That's awesome. And I know you're saving lives. People text you all the time and say, hey, thank you for putting that message out and for being here. And I'm sure, that makes you feel good.
Yeah, it does. It's very rewarding. It's a passion project, and it's pretty much full time for me. I'm just not, well, right now I'm like not sleeping because I'm doing too much, but I'm trying to, turn it more into a community effort, which is what I've successfully done with the application, and it's building, and we have a really good network and a lot of people involved in it. And just watching, recovery advocates help addicts, and knowing that I created the platform that made that possible is rewarding to me, as well as being able to help on an individual basis.
And you yourself overcame an addiction.
Yeah, I'm 5 years sober. I was a poly addict, so I used almost every drug in the world. It would be easier for me to name what I haven't done. So my videos, I do talk about substance abuse with specific substances. And I feel like as a culture, we've kind of overly demonized substances. And when you demonize substances, you demonize the people that use them. And that's where a lot of this negative stigma comes from. It also lacks harm reduction. So essentially, you go into a sex education class and they say, ideally wait until marriage, be abstinent. But if you're going to have sex, this is how you do it safe. So I made a video on Xanax, and I said mixing Xanax with alcohol is extremely lethal and dangerous. Nobody knew that. Nobody. And I mean, the comments were like, I do that all the time. And so like, why isn't anybody educating people on safe practices? Of course, abstinence from drugs, all drugs, including alcohol, tobacco, even the stuff they put in fast food, that's the ideology. Like but what's reality? Yeah. Reality is not everybody's going to follow that practice. And for the people that don't, I don't think that they should lack proper education to protect themselves.
Well, I think what you're doing is awesome, and we really appreciate your time, and you've done a lot for us at Cornbread Hustle as well.
I love you guys.
We really appreciate it, and anything that we can do to help you, of course, we're always here for you. So thank you so much, CG.
Hey.
We love you.
Susie. Go on a date with me, Susie.
Go on a date with him, please. You like redheads.
I actually do like redheads. I would do
that.
that.
Don't be creepy, I promise.
Yay, we just made a date connection.
And you'll be at our networking event next week.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Okay, perfect.
I'll ask you out there. I'll do it properly, like face to face, not like live where you feel obligated to say yes.
All right, good stuff. Thank you, CG.
All right, have a good one, guys.
Bye.
Did I turn red?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, kind of like red-brown.
Yeah, as red as I can get, right? Oh, good show today. Yeah, that was awkward a little bit, but we love CG. He's awesome. But anyway, so if you guys have any hangry hustlers that you think that we should be profiling, send us an email, Sherry@cornbreadhustle.com, Susie, SUSY, @cornbreadhustle.com. And any show segments, comments, whatever, send us an email. That's what we're here to do. So, guys, have a great rest of your week. And we'll see you next week. Keep hustling.
Adios.